Welcome to In Love with Horror. I'm AJ and this is Christy, and this is your destination for all things horror. Now, a new year is upon us, and with that, we wanted to share our most anticipated horror films of 2024. Now, we already shared our top 10 horror films of 2023, so if you haven't watched that yet, that video will be linked in the description. Now, there are some films on our 2024 list that do not have release dates yet, but for those that do, we will mention those. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that, unfortunately, Jordan Peele is supposed to have his new film coming out in December of 2024. But as of I think a couple weeks ago, that's been removed from the 2024 release calendar. So unfortunately, that film will not be on the list. Super sad to see that go. But with that, let's get into it. At number 20, we got Dust Bunny. Now, we don't know a lot about this film yet, but what we do know is it's being directed by Brian Fuller. It's going to star Mads Mikkelsen, Sigourney Weaver, and David Dastmalchian. Now, Dust Bunny will tell the story of an 8-year-old girl who enlists the help of her intriguing neighbor to kill the monster under her bed that she believes ate her family. Now, there's no trailer for this one, and I don't believe there's any images either at the time of this recording, but it makes our list because of the cast, and then of course because of Brian Fuller, who did the Hannibal series with Mads Mikkelsen, and he also wrote for the American Gods series and a few other series as well. So just because of that, we had to get that on the list, and this is one we're definitely excited for.
Next on our list, number 19 is Baghead. Now, Baghead is being directed by Alberto Corredor, this is his first feature-length film. He's done some shorts as well. Baghead itself is a short that is now making into a feature-length film. And it is written by Christina Pamies. I'm sure I'm butchering these names, so please forgive me. Bryce McGuire, who is actually going to be writing, he's a writer for Night Swim. That's about to come out in January. Interesting.
Okay.
And Lorcan Riley, the other two writers, this is their first time writing for a feature film as well. And Baghead just tells the story of this girl who gets this rundown pub inherited to her by someone in her family. And there's like a secret in the basement. Mm-hmm. And that secret is Baghead. And Baghead is like a shape-shifting creature that will let you speak to your lost loved ones, but not without consequences. And this will be released on February 8th, 2024. It stars Freya Allen, who's the girl in The Witcher. I don't know if you remember her. The one who he's protecting.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And Ruby Baker, who is in Bridgerton. The last season of Bridgerton, which I really love. She's excellent in that. But yeah, the trailer for this looks really interesting. And it kind of gives me like the Haunting in Connecticut vibes. That's kind of how I was.
Like the tone.
Yeah, the tone of it.
Mm-hmm. Like that, the look of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I really like both these actresses. So I feel like they're going to do good in this. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah. And I feel like this one also is interesting because I feel like it has the opportunity to tell a good story about like grief and, trying to communicate with loved ones. Mm-hmm. It's gonna, if they execute right, it could be really good. At 18, we got Year 2. 1 year ago, a supermoon event caused a latent gene to turn everyone exposed to the moonlight into a werewolf for one night. Millions died, and now the supermoon is back. Year 2 is being directed by Stephen C. Miller, who did Silent Night from 2012 and Martyrs from 2016. And it's being written by Matthew Kennedy, who did Inheritance from 2020. It stars Frank Grillo and Katrina Law. And all we have so far is a first look image for this film where it features, it shows one of the creatures, and it's being done via practical effects and not CGI, which is very exciting because, it's not always the case, but man, if you get really good practical effects, I say it beats out CGI any day.
Yeah.
At least nowadays, because they try to get CGI cheap and they get it rushed, and it's just not of good quality. But man, some solid ass practical effects, you cannot beat it. Especially some good werewolf practical effects. And I feel like we don't have enough werewolf films, and honestly, like we'll take more werewolf films. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We love werewolves. I can't speak for you, but I know you like Twilight and stuff like that.
Really?
Were you like Teen Werewolf or whatever?
Oh my goodness, yes I did.
Oh, see, yeah, exactly. So that's why this had to go on the list, y'all, because we always welcome more werewolf films. And honestly, the premise of this sounds very interesting. So we'll see how this one turns out. But yeah, Year 2.
All right, y'all. For number 17, we have Return to Silent Hill. Now, Return to Silent Hill is being directed by Christoph Gans, who did the first Silent Hill, and written by William Joseph Schneider, who is writing the Crow remake. Mm-hmm. It stars Jeremy Irvine, Hannah Emily Anderson, and Eve Macklin. Now, here's the synopsis. When a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill in search of his lost love, James finds a once recognizable town and encounters terrifying figures, both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity. So we don't have any footage, no trailer, no
Nothing.
images, anything really for
Okay.
this one. Not even a release date. Rumors do have it coming out sometime early 2024, but we're not sure. That's not confirmed. The director did confirm that the new movie will follow the plot of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
But just a modernized take on the story. So I don't know about you, but I'm excited to revisit Silent Hill and see, how the story goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. And since it follows the plot of Silent Hill 2 game, I think that is the more beloved one of the series. So I think Silent Hill fans could be very excited, probably nervous, but excited. So yeah, Return to Silent Hill. We're excited for this one. Number 16, we got The Strangers. Now the first of the trilogy will be released on May 17th, 2024. And The Strangers is being directed by Rennie Harlin, who did a bunch of films like Deep Blue Sea, My Hunters, 12 Rounds, and so on. It's being written by Alan R. Cohen, who wrote for King of the Hill. Interesting. And Due Date. Also, writers include Alan Friedland, who also wrote on those same projects, and Amber Lutfi. Now, in The Strangers Chapter 1, a young couple drives across country toward a new beginning. Unfortunately, they have no choice but to stop in a secluded Airbnb in Oregon and endure a night of terror against three masked strangers. Now, the other two movies in the trilogy will also be released in 2024 as well. Now, we both enjoyed, the OG, like the first Strangers film, which I think dropped in 2008, something like that. It was somewhere in the 2000s, right? But we both really enjoyed the first one. The sequel, we just can forget that exists.
Pray at Night.
Yeah, Pray at Night. We just want to, that doesn't even exist to us. But, they've already released a clip for this. It looks kind of interesting. It has the same kind of setup from what we understand. The first one, Chapter 1, is a remake of The Strangers, so to follow the same story beat. And number 2 and number 3 was supposed to expand the lore of The Strangers. We're definitely excited for this. Remakes can go either way. It's always a mixed bag, but we're hoping that this will be good. This trilogy all coming out in the same year is going to be interesting. So we'll see how this all plays out.
Number 15 is The Trap. The Trap is the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie starring Josh Hartnett, Haley Mills, Vanessa Smith, Marnie McPhail. Now, we don't know much of anything about this because kind of like Jordan Peele, he don't say nothing about his movies at all. So the only thing we have is him telling, I believe, one article, I can't remember what it was. Oh, The Voice. He said it's a psychological thriller set at a concert. That's all we got.
Yep.
Now, he also said it's very unusual and very new compared to what I've been trying to do recently, but I'm feeling very excited about the story, so much so that I can't wait to tell it to you guys. Now, this one is on our list for two reasons. I really like Shyamalan movies. Like, I like Old. I like all his earliest stuff.
Yeah.
Is it The Visit? Yeah, I like that one.
Yep.
He makes some good stuff. I mean, he's only had one or two fails.
Yeah, and then his latest one was Knock at the Cabin, and I thought that one was...
I didn't watch that one. Yeah.
I thought that one was okay. I do feel like out of his newer ones, the concept was really good, but it wasn't as thrilling. There wasn't like the typically it's like a twist. It was like that part wasn't as exciting with this one, but I think it was still like a decent film.
Right. Well, he's trying to do something different from what he's done before recently. So maybe that includes Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I personally like Josh Hartnett as well. Like he was really good in The Faculty. And there's another movie too. It's a vampire movie. I can't think of it right now, but he was also in that. So I'm glad to see him back because it's been a long time since I've seen him in a film. But yeah, so The Trap is hitting theaters August 2nd, 2024. Yeah,
that's definitely one to look out for sure. At 14, we got The Watchers. Now, this is actually another Shyamalan film, but it's coming from M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Ishana Shyamalan. So this is her directorial feature-length debut. It's also going to be written by her and A.M. Shine. It stars Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, and Owen Foray. Now, in The Watchers, Mina, a 28-year-old artist, gets stranded in an extensive immaculate forest in Western Ireland. After finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside three strangers, stalked by a mysterious creature each night. Well, it's creatures, plural, right? Yeah, so creatures each night. Now, there's no images or trailers for this film just yet, but I mean, this is just exciting because, it's passing the torch. It's M. Night's daughter now. And, it's always cool to see, like the child, like following the parents' footsteps. And typically, like, especially when it comes to someone at that caliber of talent, they usually do just as well as the parent a lot of times, whether it be in like, writing books or directing movies, because they, I'm sure she's been around sets and, learned so much from her father. I'm sure her father's going to be there to kind of like support and help. So I think this is going to be a very exciting project. The premise sounds really good. I wonder if she'll follow in her father's footsteps with, having very unique and creative twists in her films too. I think overall, this is just going to be a really fun and exciting project. Some great performers attached to this. And I'm just hyped. It's a summer release, y'all. So it's coming out June 7th, 2024. So this will be a summer horror film and definitely one that we'll be watching for come summer 2024. The watches, y'all.
All right. Number 13 on our list is Saw 11. Saw 11 is coming to theaters September 27th, 2024. And that's about all we know about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Saw 10 writers Josh Stolberg and Pete Goldfinger did tweet that they were not going to be returning to the project. So we don't know, who's going to be in the movie, who's going to be directing, who's going to be writing. We don't have any confirmations on any of those.
Right.
But we did see a new interview with the film's producer, Oren Cools, in SFX magazine. It does seem like the next Saw film is going to pick up right after this last one.
Yeah, Saw 10.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it'll be taking place between Saw 10 and Saw 2 on the timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was quoted saying, "Cecilia is still alive and Tobin and Sharni are in a foreign country still." So she's still alive.
Right. So yeah, they kind of implied that she made Saw 10.
They left her there.
I mean,
I was kind of thinking that was going to be the end of the story.
Yeah. And this is kind of why this is a little bit lower on our list.
Yeah.
Because with different people, with the people not coming back to continue the story, it's a little concerning. And also, like, I was hoping that they would go do something else. I don't really want to see the same like antagonistic person come back. I'd rather see them go somewhere else, do something different, do something new. So, I'm excited, but also a little reserving some of that excitement a little bit, managing my expectations because Saw 10 was awesome. They made good money, so now they're like, "Oh, we gotta do it again."
Yeah,
and it's coming out the following year. I don't know. That's a very quick turnaround. A little bit concerning.
A little bit,
and they don't even know who's fully attached yet.
We don't know any of that. So because we don't have all the details or know where they're going to go with this plot, that's why it's kind of low, like you said. But can't wait to see what happens between Cecilia and John as they battle up against each other again in the next one.
Fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed. At number 12, y'all, we got Terrifier 3. Now, Terrifier 3 is going to hit theaters on October 25th, 2024. It's being written and directed, of course, by Damien Leone. And it stars David Thornton, Lauren Levera, and Elliot Fulham. So we got the main players returning. Now, we don't got too many details about this one just yet. But Damien did mention that he plans on going back to the roots of the first Terrifier. And, of course, Art the Clown will unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. Now, he also did mention in some other interviews that, it's going to be a very controversial, I believe, opening, very extreme. He's got a massive budget on this one. So, hopefully all those elements will, elevate Terrifier 3 to like a whole new level. This is one we're very excited for. There's already so many discussions about this because in the teaser that you're probably watching right now, there's a child in that teaser and people are already like going crazy about controversy. Like, oh, is he going to kill this child? And so like, there's already a lot of things brewing with this film that kind of, is great, marketing for this film to build up towards. And, hopefully, we see Art just go ham. That's kind of what I want to see. And then they get more origin and lore expansion. I think Terrifier 3 could be the best in the series. What do you think?
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're going to find out, y'all. October 25th, 2024, Terrifier 3.
Number 11, The Wolfman. The Wolfman is being directed by Lee Winnell and is set to release also on October 25th, 2024.
Double feature, y'all.
Yes. Now, the lid is pretty tight on this one as well, and we don't really know a whole lot about it. But what we do know that is that it stars Christopher Abbott, who was just recently cast in Poor Things, as a man whose family is being terrorized by a lethal predator, which I'm assuming is a wolfman. Now, this is on our list because we really like this director. He directed Invisible Man.
Which was amazing. Like, Invisible Man was so good.
Yes, and he also did Insidious Chapter 3. Yep. And I did not know this, but he was also Adam in the earlier Saw movies. But yeah, so I really like this director, and I'm excited to see what he does with this monster. we always said we like werewolf movies. We need more werewolf movies. So it's cool. We're getting two werewolf movies next in the same year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
That's gonna be super dope. I know the last remake that came out, I believe it was 2010.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know it wasn't very well received critically. So hopefully this can be a chance to, renew the Wolfman as a franchise, and also if they do plan on continuing this, MonsterVerse thing, hopefully that this can, either reignite it or bring it back into a good light. So hopefully that everything goes well, and then because I'd love to see more MonsterVerse stuff. Same. Like I love creature stuff. I love MonsterVerse. Remaking the classics if done well. Could be really good. That's we'll definitely be watching this double feature, Terrifier 3 and the Wolfman. That's gonna be a crazy weekend, y'all. If you like this video so far, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. And now it's time for the top 10, y'all. And at number 10, we got none other than The Conjuring: The Last Rites. Now, this is surely in our top 10 because we love the Conjuring franchise, y'all. And we actually even did a Conjuring universe ranking video. So that's over on our channel. We'll also link that in the description as well. Check out that video because we go through the whole franchise right before the Nun 2 release and rank all the films. Dope video, y'all. Now, The Conjuring: The Last Rites is being written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who wrote the previous two. It's being produced by James Wan, and it's being directed by Michael Chavez. And he just did The Nun 2, right? Yep. So he just did The Nun 2. I like it, so that's cool with me.
He also did the La Llorona one.
We just ignoring that one. The Nun 2 is a lot better, so that's the one we're looking at, right?
Don't forget that now.
That's the latest one, so we're going off the latest release. Now, there was an interview that he did with Screen Rant where he said that the post-credit scene of The Nun 2 is connected to this new film. But that's literally all we have to go off of. I know the Conjuring franchise has been kind of going downhill a little bit. I think The Nun 2 was, at least for me personally, kind of brought it back in a better direction. So I'm hoping that The Conjuring: The Last Rites can kind of live up to some of the better films in this universe. But either way, it's a Conjuring movie. It's produced a lot of great films in that franchise, a lot of iconic things. We got Valak and other iconic, villains and moments that have been produced out of this massive horror franchise. Either way, we're looking forward to it. No release date or any other information, but it's supposed to come out next year, 2024. So The Conjuring: The Last Rites, y'all, are number 10.
Number 9, Out of Darkness. Out of Darkness is being directed by Andrew Cumming. This is his first debut of directing, and written by him along with Ruth Greenberg, who wrote Run from 2021, and awesome. Oliver Kastman, who wrote Saint Maud from 2019.
Love it.
It stars Kit Young, Sophia Oakley Green, and Chuku Modu. The synopsis reads, in the old Stone Age, a gang of early humans band together in search of a new land. But when they suspect a malevolent mystical being is hunting them down, the clan are forced to confront a danger they never envisioned. Now, we watched this trailer and talked about it earlier on the podcast. I'm not sure it was a news or something like that. But anyways, we both really loved the way this trailer looked. And it has us really excited. It does release February 9th, 2024.
Yeah, so pretty soon.
Pretty soon. It's right around the corner. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, I thought the trailer looked great. There was even that cool tidbit that came out about this film where the language that they use in this film was created for this film. And when you watch the trailer, like it sounds like it could have been
like
legit.
A real language.
So they actually hired a linguist to help them create. So you can tell that the work went in. There's some passion behind there. And just the tone and the look of this film, I thought it looked really good. So I'm definitely excited to watch this come February. At number 8, we got The Crow, the remake, y'all. It's being directed by Rupert Sanders, who did Snow White and the Huntsman and Ghost in the Shell. It's being written by Zach Balin, who wrote King Richard and Creed 3. Also, Kevin Cornish, who did Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, and Cliff Dorfman, who wrote a little bit for Entourage. Now, it's going to star Bill Skarsgård, FKA Twigs, Jordan Bolger, and Danny Huston. Now, no details as of yet with this one, but just the same as in the original, a man is resurrected by a crow to take revenge on the gang that killed him and his fiance. Now, of course, with this one, the kind of the big draw for us for it to be on this list is just the story and the nostalgia from the original film. As I always say, remakes can be a mixed bag. So this has a potential to be a good remake. It's got some good writers attached to it. It's got stories and performers that we like. The director, I've never seen either one of those films, so I can't speak to how good they are. I know they weren't received well critically. I think you liked.
I like Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah. So,
but that's more of my lane. So
right.
I like those things.
Right.
Type of movies.
Right. So, fingers crossed that this would be a good one. I'm sure that they understand what they're working with here in terms of the history of this property, and it's kind of like one of those like cult classics now. So I'm sure they know that they got to go in and go hard and make this a good film. So fingers crossed, y'all. But The Crow is on our list, number 8 for 2024.
Number 7 is The First Omen. Now, The First Omen is about a young American woman sent to Rome to begin a new life as a service to the church. But she soon encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. Now, this is being directed by Arkasha Stevenson. She directed Legion in 2017, and she did some episodes on Channel Zero, which is a show you really like.
Yeah, awesome.
And it was written by Tim Smith, who also worked on Channel Zero, and Keith Thomas, who did Firestarter, which I never watched that one.
I heard that wasn't received very good. Yeah.
It does star Bill Nighy, Ralph Ineson, and Sonia Braga. Now, we did have the first look image of this one, and we were both really drawn in by this. It definitely gives those really good gothic vibes.
Yeah, it was a good vibe.
Like the tone and everything was just, it looks really, really interesting.
100%.
And so, this one's high up on our list because I'm really excited about watching this. I liked The Omen. I don't know how you felt about The Omen, but I thought it was a good movie.
I think The Omen's great, from the original to the remakes. I don't have any issue with any of them, honestly, really. So I like the story of this. I also like the idea of the conspiracy aspect. Because, we just in our culture today, like there's so much like conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I have the opportunity to like explore some really weird and creative conspiracy stuff in regards to like the church and all that. So it could be
the Pope's Exorcist.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't really like that movie as a total, but I did like that.
The story was cool.
Yeah, that story was cool.
So and he was on a little Vespa. But so I think because of that conspiracy aspect, we could get like a really interesting story and compelling movie that might even have some like weird, like, subtle messages that people can play with compared to real life conspiracies. They can have fun with it.
They could.
But with that first image, I think this is a pretty exciting one. It's releasing in theaters on April 5th, 2024. So we don't have too much longer of a wait before we see this film. So The First Omen, y'all, we are excited for this one.
Number 6 is Beetlejuice 2. Now, I think we all know why this is on our list. We are finally getting a long-awaited sequel to this movie.
A long time.
Long time. Now, this is pure nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
I'm like super excited about this. I don't care how bad this movie is. You won't hear me say nothing bad about it because I'm just super excited about it. Now, we don't have any plot details or anything like that, but we do know that it's going to be starring, Michael Keaton, your girl Jenny Ortega, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, like William Dafoe's like star-studded cast, bring back the OGs.
Yeah, the cast is amazing.
Yes, I'm super excited about this. It's also directed by Tim Burton. This will hit theaters September 6th, 2024. If they have an early release, I'm going to be there. Right. I am ready for this.
Hopefully they do like a cool like popcorn bucket or poster or something.
So fun. Yes,
that'd be really fun because they can get really wacky with the popcorn bucket. It can get cool.
Ooh, I want a crumble cookie gonna make a Beetlejuice cookie.
That'd be cool. They can do a lot of cool stuff with this. But yeah, because we got like a bunch of like set photos and things like that. I don't know if we got any official images or anything
no official
yet,
ones.
But I think even with the set photos, people were getting pretty excited because the look and everything was there for sure. So I know Beetlejuice is all you. I like it. You're more of a fan than I am, but I'm still excited for it. And I already know because of you. We definitely gonna be there in September of 2024 to watch Beetlejuice 2. At number 5, y'all, we got Smile 2. Now, Smile 2 is coming to theaters on October 18th, 2024. We got no plot details, images, or trailers, or anything yet. But we do know it's being written and directed by Parker Finn. And we do know that Naomi Scott will star as well from the live-action Aladdin movie. Now, it's no secret that Smile from 2022 was like one of my favorite films of that year. I thought Smile was excellent. And you know me, like I'm not even like a big like rewatcher type of person, but I think I watched this movie at least 2 or 3 times. Like this movie really, really impressed me. I know you're not as big of a fan as I am, but I am so hyped for Smile 2. I cannot wait to see this film and see how they carry the story. Of course, you see the film, you know how it ends, so they could definitely, carry the story into something interesting. I'm sure they'll probably dive into the lore, the origins, and all that good stuff. And I'd imagine that because how well the first film did, maybe the budget's even bigger. They can go even crazier. They can go even more, wild with it. But as long as they keep that same tone and eeriness, they can definitely knock out of the park with this. But smile to y'all. I cannot wait to watch this film in October of 2024. At number 4, y'all, we got Alien Romulus, another film I'm super hyped for next year. Now, Alien Romulus is being directed by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead 2013 remake and also Don't Breathe. Like, movies I love. Excellent movies, y'all. It's also being written by him and Rodo Sayegas, who wrote Don't Breathe with him, but he also wrote for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that Netflix one that we don't talk about. So he worked on that as well. That's Rodo, of course. Now it stars Kaylee Spaney, Isabella Merced, Archie Renault, and David Johnson. And this movie is about a group of young people from a distant world who must face the most terrifying life form in the universe. And according to Kaylee Spaney in an interview she did, because she was asked about the film, the movie is supposed to take place between the first Alien 1979 one and the sequel in 1986 Aliens. So it takes place somewhere in there. But there's been, there's no official, there's one set image, but there's no like trailers or anything like that beyond the single set image. But there's been a lot of like discussions and interviews and different, junkets and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of things about this being like a return to form, like an original story.
Mm-hmm.
It's focused on this group of people, and it's, back to the alien, like stalking them, and that suspense, and that you don't know when the alien is going to pop up. That's going back to the true horror of Alien, which I think is going to be super, exciting for this film. Because, as we got later in the franchise, they had to keep doing more weird stuff and, try to connect to this bigger, larger lore. And then we got those recent Alien films that kind of like, they talked about the origins of aliens, and I did not like how they set that up at all. So it's cool that this is kind of taking the approach of like Saw, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's going back to the original films and setting a film between the two.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's taking that same approach. And Saw tended excellent. I'm sure this film will do amazing, especially with Fede working on it. Because, with what he did with Evil Dead, he can deliver with Alien.
Yeah.
And like, man, I'm telling y'all, I cannot wait to see a trailer for this. Like, I'm gonna do a reaction to this shit. I'm gonna be so hyped. We're going to the movies. Just like how you hype about Beetlejuice 2. We're getting the popcorn bucket. We're getting everything for Alien Romulus. It's gonna be crazy. Now, look, y'all, this comes out on August 16th, 2024. So that's gonna be a definite must watch for everybody, especially if you're an Alien fan, because I feel like this could be the Alien film that the modern day Alien film we've been waiting for in Alien Romulus, yo. I'm so hyped now. I'm stumbling my words.
Number 3, A Quiet Place Day 1. Mm. Now, this is being directed by Michael Sarnowski.
And he directed Pig with Nicolas Cage, which was an incredible film.
And is written by Sarnowski along with John Krasinski, who directed the first one. And you might know him from The Office.
Of course, yeah.
And Brian Woods, who also worked on the last one, and he also wrote for 65.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be amazing. Just listen to this cast lineup.
Yeah.
We got Digimon Honso. I'm sure I'm saying his last name wrong, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Alex Wolff, Lupita Nyong'o, and Dennis O'Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the plot is being kept mostly under wraps, but what we do know is that this will be when, shit hits the fan.
It's day one.
This is day one.
Yep.
Right. So everything had already taken place in the other movie, so we don't really know how everything started, but this one takes you all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, this hits theaters June 28th of 2024. So I know you're hyped about this one.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's on our list. Really loved this movie.
The first two films were like incredible movies. And I'm excited to see, like the ground zero of this, like how things started. How they learned how to fight back against these things.
That's what I'm most interested in.
It's going to be
how they figured those things out.
Right, exactly. So it's going to be very interesting. It's a lot of the same people attached. So I'm sure that the overall story and things will be done really well. And then the cast is crazy
cast.
That cast is insane. But this movie is looking pretty good. I'm sure it's going to shape up pretty good. I'm excited. It's another summer release. And man, like we're in the top 3 most anticipated right now, and like, just going through all these films he's done so far, like this list is stacked.
It is stacked.
Like 2024 ain't lit.
It was really hard because we were originally do 10. And I was like, there's no way we
can
make a 10.
It's too much stuff. I'm telling y'all, man, 2024 is shaping up pretty good. But yeah, June 28th, y'all, 2024, A Quiet Place Day 1. Let's see how things kicked off for society and how they handle these aliens. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully, another good entry in the franchise.
All right, taking our number 2 spot is the sequel to Talk to Me. Talk to Me. Now, we know why this Romulus is here.
Yep.
If you haven't watched our last video where we talked about our top 10, you know, how I feel about this movie.
Oh yeah.
Talk to Me is a really, really well done horror movie, and I really loved it. And we know nothing about this one either. But
Nope.
I'm excited to see what Danny and Michael do with this story. I don't know if they're going to take it back, like do a prequel, or if they're going to continue the story and we'll see another, you know, set of teens doing the crazy stuff with another embalmed hand. But I'm excited to see what they do. I'm going to support whatever they bring to the table. But yeah, how are you feeling about this?
No, I mean, like I said, you know, even though I wasn't like a mega fan of Talk to Me, I still liked it. I still like what they did with it. And I think they just showed Danny Michael's potential. A couple things I like to see in the sequel, though. They've mentioned a couple things, like in interviews and stuff, right? They had mentioned one. If they do go the prequel route, they had already shot some like prequel footage before. So it's very possible they go the prequel route. But number two, you know, when we see the scene with like the, you know, I forgot the little brother's name, kind of like being tortured to some extent. They said they had shot more footage of this like hellscape where he's being tortured. Like they said that there's some like more graphic, more extreme natured footage that was very like scary. I want to see them like do that. So yeah, the way they talked about it was that shit was crazy. I want them to bring that in because the movie was. I mean, the movie already has some great crazy moments, but like
see it push a little bit,
like send that shit, like go all the way. You know, I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like scare me, make me afraid to use this hand even more by showing me the spirit trapped in this hellscape getting tortured and all that. I don't know if they will ever release that other footage. I think that'd be cool to do if they one day do that. But that's what I want to see. Another great story. I would like to see them maybe do like a whole, like the hand is just somewhere else and it's just a whole new group of people.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, because like if you try to connect it back, I feel like that's where you can kind of stumble trying to tie it to characters from the first movie. I feel like it's an easy way to fumble the bag. If you just go and create a whole new scenario and maybe not directly repeat the same thing, but having some of those similar elements, but then maybe taking it into a different direction where they do get more information about the hand. Like we actually get origin information. That could be a direction. That's
kind of my thing. I was kind of hoping they would go the prequel route, maybe even prior to the character we got in the beginning of the movie, like where the hand came from.
Yeah.
Like I would like that kind of story, but
because the only thing I don't like about prequels is you already know how they're going to end. So
that's
like
true.
if we get the prequel of the intro, that in regards to the intro of Talk to Me, we already know where they're going to end up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
True.
So like I feel like I'm not saying prequels can't be still fun, but if they are directly tied to the first film, it takes away some of the funness. Where you're like, well, we know how this shit going in.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. I
so
got you.
If maybe they could do a prequel going way back. Not way back, but you know.
Right. That's anyways.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this movie.
Oh,
it
yeah.
hits theaters August 8th, 2024. So yeah, we'll be there.
Oh yeah, we'll be there. We'll be waiting to see what they do with this hand. Now coming in at our number one spot, our most anticipated film, our most anticipated horror film of 2024, y'all, is Nosferatu. Now, Nosferatu is being directed by Robert Eggers, who of course did The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, films that, you know, I all love. I know you've only seen The Witch, but you love The Witch as well. And this is, you know, Robert Eggers is easily one of the top directors working today in terms of like his ability to, you know, create a very, you know, interesting vision and convey that, you know, on the big screen. And, you know, we can't wait to see what he does with, this is a remake, you know, so we can, of a 1922, is it 22? 1922 film. This is going to be interesting, y'all. And we can't wait to see what he does with this story. Now, it stars Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, and Willem Dafoe. Now, we don't got a trailer yet, but we've gotten, around 3 or 4 images?
Like 3.
Yeah, 3 images that show a couple of the characters. Now, we have not seen what Nosferatu himself looks like yet.
No, haven't seen that.
But we've seen some of this, you know, what the other, cast of characters look like. They're keeping the Nosferatu character under wraps, but Robert Eggers, I believe, has came out and said that, like, you know, Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu is insane.
Oh, right, yeah.
They even mentioned that, you know, like he's afraid that he won't get, you know, his props because he's so
lost
as a
in the
performer.
character.
He's so lost in the character. Just like we think about like It and stuff like that. Like he's so lost in that character. And I feel like this is kind of putting him on the map to be like the you know, like the villainous character type of like creature, transformer type of person, or type of performer. But this is super exciting. Like, I feel like all the images definitely have that, very vampiric gothic fantasy tone to it. And he even mentioned that, it's going to have like a very high creep factor. Like, it's going to actually be a little scary. So it's going to have like the horror elements along with the drama and stuff like that. And this one is so exciting, y'all. And it's crazy to think that our most anticipated film is also the film that comes out at the end of the year. We got a long wait, y'all. But I'm sure I have a strong feeling it's gonna be worth it.
I think so.
Based off of like, this dude's catalog and the work that he's already done. Like, I can't wait to see this film, y'all. And it releases on Christmas. So cross your fingers that it's good, because that's gonna be an ultimate Christmas gift, y'all.
Yeah.
Nosferatu. This is so exciting. Man, like, let us know down in the comments, y'all, how excited are you for Nosferatu? Like, we cannot wait to watch this. Again, this is our most anticipated film of 2024, and man, I'm just praying that it's a good one, because that's all within the year, and we got a long wait, but we'll see. So there you have it, y'all. 20 of our most anticipated horror films coming in 2024. Let us know down in the comments below what you're looking forward to the most. And if there's something that's not on our list that you're excited about, let us know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Be sure to like this video, join us over on Patreon, listen to our podcast, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things horror. Until next time, peace.